I told her to walk in there like you own the place. When you see fear and doubt, offer them my suitcase full of dreams. Tell them you want time in exchange for the whole case of them. She sat down, fear and doubt, opened a suitcase full of dreams, showed him the goods, offered it up in exchange for time. She closed the deal for us that day, handed me the watch. I told her I just gotta get back a few moments, a few important memories, and we can return the watch.
I loved this. I thought it was so interesting. It felt almost like a modern day speakeasy. Once, you know, he's in that like bar restaurant area, it felt like glamorous old Hollywood almost. I loved the feel of it. And then all, like, conceptually turning like fear and doubt into people that you could have dinner with and make bargains with, that was amazing. And like his whole like voiceover, his whole spoken the entire way through was so good. It was so consistent. Tonally, it was amazing. I absolutely love this, that like dreams were something that you could bargain with, and dreams without time were basically meaningless, and that all of these different things, like conceptually I thought it was so great. I thought it was executed really, really well.
A very compelling film. The voiceover is extremely strong, and we go through this journey with the main character. And being able to experience that with him really keeps the audience that much more engaged. The watch symbolizes so much, and we see just how important time is, not only for the character's life, but also a reflection of our own. The theme of time and dreams is also extremely strong, and it really helps to enhance the story and the characters.
Hella classy. Overall was a vision from start to finish, and the narration was spellbinding as well. Just high praise to everyone involved with this picture.
There's a really very cool 1920s vibe to this, with that beat poetry kind of rhythm. It just oozed cool. I wrote a really interesting meditation on the idea of dreams and the restraints of time on our dreams, or self-imposed restraints anyways. It was trippy, it was fantastical, but the grounded protagonist and his narration really grounded the piece. And the visuals just helped me meditate a little bit more on his words and on these meditations on art and on creation and leaping to the genius zone, which I think is something I'm gonna keep thinking about. Really cool set dressing and environment chosen, and it was all delivered with a very clear, bold, artistic vision that I totally bought.
I think this was brilliantly done. I think it was fantastic with this one. The way everything was so symbolically done, and with the poetry being read, I really enjoyed this.
First off, it was beautifully shot, and the subtle background sounds were fantastic. Sound mixing did an incredible job on this, with the music accents that helped carry the film from the subtle piano notes to full-fledged melodies. Thought it had a great pace. Really think that the filmmaker took time to add breath to the moments and really add focus to the piece. I thought the performances were really nice. I enjoyed the lighting differential between the two main characters, how one was more in the shadows and one was more in the light. And just thought they did a nice job to distinguish between those two, and overall just thought it was a great piece of filmmaking.
Yeah, this one's really interesting. I loved how they kind of played with reality and fantasy, and the narration is super strong, helps like clue everything in. I feel like it was pretty well shot, and it seems like this was, a lot of the money was spent into probably locking down locations because they were great. I felt like the production design was very strong in this piece, and you can kind of tell where the director chose to dedicate the most attention, and I feel like it was the production design and making sure that there was like a look nailed. I feel like, you know, you could tell it was on a budget, but it was great. It was really interesting. I enjoyed it, and I felt like all the actors and everybody involved did a really solid job of carrying the story through.
Quite inventive and imaginative, to say the very least. We've seen time used as a kind of currency or as a more metaphorical tool and device in film before, but not in this specific way, which made it quite noteworthy. It's not so much a form of currency as it is a well-desired commodity, I think, let's say. A kind of luxury item is more what it's exemplified in this piece. There's a great quote in the piece, "Our dreams without time are just empty wishes." And I really, really loved that. I thought that was one of the biggest thematic takeaways of the piece in and of itself. And it was great how they were able to exemplify that simply through a line of dialogue. And the use of many different kinds of kind of antique devices. We see a lot of old style cameras and typewriters and whatnot used throughout, which give the piece as a whole a very classical and timeless kind of feel, because it shows technology throughout the ages and how there's still value in those technologies even now. So a very interesting piece that leaves a lot to mull over and think about.